There are a couple of things people can use an external SSD. It's not just an expensive storage that you could put in your drawer and save it when you need it to do a backup or anything similar to that. You can use it for videography or basically plug it into your video camera and record on the external SSD. You can use it for games, but for instance, this is a quite nice way to basically just plug it in USB Type-C, and with that you can get normal speeds and still play games without any issues. So today we have Sabrent Rocket Nano. This is the external aluminum SSD, and first of all, as I stated at the past Sabrent video that I did, the box is really premium. And first of all, we have here 1 TB of storage, but the box is the same thing as the SSD, aluminum. So check this out. The packaging is just perfect. You get, of course, the SSD. You get 2 set of cables, and that's it. Basically, you don't need anything else, right? So let's check it out. You get USB Type-C to USB Type-C, which is really cool. And basically, if your computer, laptop, or your camera has a USB Type-C, this is the best way to go because this is the fastest. After that, we have another cable, which is USB Type-C to USB Type-A. Now, here is the main player of today's game. We have the SSD, which is quite small, and it can basically fit in any pocket. So anywhere you go, you can carry it around and do whatever you need to do with it. Now, it has a certain protection right here, and basically it's also waterproof. So this kind of gives more value to it, I would say. At the bottom here, you have a Type-C connectivity, and you can of course take it out of the rubber housing and just use it as this. So quite cool. Now, what are we going to do today and what I did with it for the past 2 weeks? I was testing it on my Blackmagic 6K Pro camera, and I wanted to test it out and see if it heats up, and if it does it have frame drops while recording on it? Since the gaming, I actually have enough space for all the games and all the games are already installed, we're just going to do a standard test with read and write speeds just to see how it works on USB Type-C to USB Type-C. Now, when we're talking about Sabrent Nano external aluminum SSD and using it on Blackmagic, I was actually recording it, as I stated, for 2 weeks in a row for the past couple of videos. As you've seen, there literally isn't any FPS drops. So all the videos are basically one shot recorded with this SSD, and usually SSDs heat up, or CF cards or whatever, because of the amount that is recording and with a certain speed. So 4K resolution and similar stuff do really take out loads of storage, and you need fast memories to actually record in certain FPS, in certain resolution, and with all the settings that you're going to do to the footage in RAW. So I didn't have any issues with it. All the videos that were recorded with this one didn't have any FPS drops because I placed on my Blackmagic camera to basically stop recording if the FPS drops happen, and it didn't. The good thing about it, it didn't even heat up that much. So usually with some SSDs that I had issues basically with FPS drops, so the camera just stopped recording. So I actually did a stupid thing and tested it out without the settings for the FPS drops and stop recording. So it actually did. After 2 videos, it stopped recording. This one didn't. Some SSDs also heat up so much that you can barely hold them in your hand, and this is what happens. They heat up, thermal throttling occurs, and they can't write on the storage with the same speed that they should. And this is the issue, that some SSDs aren't basically designed for this kind of thing. So for videography, Sabrent Rocket Nano is definitely my suggestion for it. Now let's talk about some specifications, then we're going to go and skip to the speeds when we're talking about transfer rates. Read and write speeds are up to 1 GB per second. It has optimized passive cooling with integrated temperature and health monitoring, which is outstanding because usually you can't have those, or you don't get those features inside, or well, basically integrated. You have advanced wear leveling and bed block management, outstanding as well. And we have here the Pass Army design with IP67, which means water and dust resistance, and 1 meter drop tested. It is designed to work with both Windows and Mac OS, so you can basically transfer data between almost any computer or operational system. It's simple plug and play, so you don't have to worry about any driver installation or anything similar to that. Now the shell is individually crafted from high-grade aerospace aluminum alloy using CNC machines for rigid durability, which basically we usually don't have in any other external SSD. The enclosure is designed to absorb the heat and protect the drive from overheating, ensuring long life expectancy from the drive, and as already stated, no thermal throttling. Now, since we can't test the speeds, well, when it's basically connected to the camera, I have to run synthetic benchmarks and actual transfer speeds through copying actual files. So we did 3 benchmarks with the AS SSD, which had the read speeds up to 900 megabytes per second and the write speeds 720. In Crystal Disk Mark, we had read speeds up to 956 megabytes per second and the write speeds up to 870 megabytes per second. And finally, in Autodisk benchmark, we had a consistency of 977 megabytes per second and the read speeds up to 939 megabytes per second. So this is all with USB Type-C to USB Type-C, and basically it's just incredible how the SSD performs. The Sabrent Rocket Nano Aluminium SSD, well, basically an SSD in aluminum housing, is quite an outstanding external SSD, and I would definitely recommend if you need an external SSD for games, for instance, as I already stated, you have a laptop, you can't open it, warranty or PC or anything similar to that restricts you from opening your PC, or for instance videography, and you need something reliable, durable, and still maybe even waterproof. I would recommend the Sabrent Rocket Nano Aluminium SSD for sure. First of all, you get a nice housing. If you don't, for some reason, don't want to have the aluminum housing, you can always put it in additional rubber sleeve, and you have 2 types of connectivity, USB Type-C to USB Type-C and USB Type-C to USB Type-A. So check the links below in the description if you're aiming for something like this. Definitely my recommendations. And finally, don't forget to subscribe, click the thumbs up button for Sabrent Rocket Nano, and finally click the notification bell for future videos. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.